Hello and welcome to the worst podcast in the galaxy. My name is George Weedman, and today I have only one dad or son, and it's Matt Visual.
Hi, guys.
Liam couldn't make it because he's out tweeting pictures of famous people from the Tokyo Games show. That's right.
That's my segment. Who has he shouted out to us personally and on Twitter? I think he did more, but I have 4 here. All right, so this is from memory for Liam for the last 2 shows he's been to. Okay.
Oh boy.
We have Donkey, right? He's like, I didn't even realize I was talking to him. Yeah, Liam.
Yeah, I remember hearing you expressing your jealousy over the donkey meeting.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
You guys can have your fun with
that. I mean, I can die without meeting internet celebrities, but yeah.
Oh yeah, congratulations. That means you're normal.
Yeah. I think I'm okay. Will Smith, I definitely want to shake his hand, but
wait, Liam's met Will Smith?
No, he hasn't.
Oh, okay.
But
he's just met Donkey. I would kill him. Gotcha.
Yeah. The ones who have shaped my childhood. Maybe I should meet those guys. The girl that anime boys love for no reason. That girl. You know who that girl is.
The class president, who's like the most popular girl.
She's took over a project for not Resident Evil. One of those
yeah, Nikki. She's got a really complicated Japanese name.
She's making Ghost something. Yeah, I remember him tweeting about that for sure. And he said, "Oh, she's cool."
Ikumi Nakamura.
Yeah,
I typed in Google. Guess what I googled to find out her name?
What?
Ghost Nikki Mura.
And that worked?
It worked, yeah. It's Ghostwire Tokyo, and her name is Ikumi Nakamura. My brain just mushed it into Nikki Mira. I'm such a racist piece of shit.
I mean, we all know this.
Yes.
Also, recently, Kojima took a little slide picture.
I don't know if you can say he's met him, though.
He's close. He's behind stage, man. He's going to meet him.
I don't know if it looks like Kojima gave him permission to post that. I'm going to say it that way.
Well, no. But he gave it to us, behind closed doors.
Oh, no. That's on his Twitter.
That's on his Twitter?
Oh, yeah. The right side of Kojima's head has been reproduced for the whole internet to see out there.
Well, good luck to him. I'm pretty sure Kojima loves the attention, so I don't think he would mind very much.
I liked how he's owning his old "Did you like it?" meme. I think we decided not to watch the 40-minute Death Stranding demo.
Yes,
to keep the surprises for the game. But when I saw Kojima tweet, "Did you like my presentation?" I was just like, yes, thank you for owning it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it all a secret. I don't know. Like, I don't do this for games. I doesn't matter. I want to see what it is before I spend money.
I think it does matter. Like, if I watch too much, like, I'll start playing the game like the E3 demos, and it spoils some good surprises. I'm good with what I've seen.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be able to pick up the game knowing how to play it, but not knowing all the what I'm sure were some cool surprises that might have been spoiled for other people who might be more on the fence. But whatever, 40-minute gameplay demos, they have their purpose in the world. I just don't think I need
not
this
for this
one.
Game. Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing it and talking about it anyway.
Like, I don't know if like the little ghost things come up, but if those come up, I don't want to know how to defeat them. I want to figure it out. I want to be scared.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to know a lot of the solutions they walk you through in those demos.
No, I want to be scared. So
yes,
he did change the names of like items and stuff like that, but that's not what I care about. I care about the gameplay. That's still gonna happen. So yeah. One more. I don't think he posted this one. This one's special to us. He didn't meet this guy, but it's worth mentioning. David Cage.
And that was behind closed doors. The rest of the internet has not seen it, but Liam snuck a picture of David
A very
Cage.
a very blurry one. I might add. A
It's
ve-
it's it's a like creep ass picture. Like that's the kind of picture that usually doesn't have graying buzz cut Frenchman in it.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, man, is that how he looks like? Like, what's going on? He's alone, drinking some wine. Oh, we should play. We should play.
My mind went to David Hayter, and I was like, wait a second. So I got on Google image search to remind myself of what David Hayter looks like, and yeah, he has hair, that little like wispy strand that goes over his eyes, and I was like, does David Hayter actually dye and wear a wig when taking pictures publicly, but when walking around Tokyo Game Show has his graying buzz? And no, it was the second David in our lives.
Yeah, because he hasn't taken a picture of him in full gray. Like he's in full gray. I think the stress has gotten to him. All his deeds catching up to him, maybe just stressed him out into gray. And I thought that was a myth, but it's not because my beard is turning gray.
He sure doesn't look like the Indigo Prophecy / Fahrenheit version of David Cage,
No.
which is much slimmer.
Oh, that picture is weird.
Yeah, he has soulless black beady eyes in that game.
Oh, he makes such good games. Yeah. But yeah, that's Liam's segment. Very short.
That's right. This week it's the Tokyo Game Show.
Yes.
And we're reporting to you Wait, no, we're not. What's the opposite of live? Dead?
Edited.
We're reporting to you dead and edited from my apartment, and we're going to talk about a bunch of bullshit that's not going to be about the Tokyo Game Show at all.
According to John, we don't edit the show, right? We just leave all the awkward pauses and stupid mistakes.
It's amazing how much smarter and more clever we sound after you take out the pauses. Like everyone's comedic timing is better when it's not an awkward pause. That's a good comedy tip from Uncle George, kids.
But I mean, give us some credit. A lot of that stuff is natural now. We barely have any of those pauses at all. It's just sometimes we do when we don't want to talk over each other because it happens a lot.
I wish you could hear the look on my face.
Oh no. It does. It doesn't.
I don't know about that episode you edited, but I take very, very deep detail work making sure that all of our pauses are exquisitely trimmed to just the right amount of comedic perfection.
That's good. That's good.
Here on the Dad and Sons podcast, every awkward pause is given individual attention to make sure that you are getting the most best of a mediocre experience. Because, I mean, let's be honest.
Watch this.
So bad. What's been going on with you this week?
I played two games. One
You
with
played
you.
2 games?
2 games.
And I just played 1? And even then, it's still
That's-
something that we were...
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I
still
don't-
good though. That's still good. You played 1.
I did. And we matched it up.
Let me knock out the one that we didn't play so we could just talk about it. I played Children of Morta. I played that game.
Here I go. You can hear me clicking with excitement.
Oh my god. When you never say the name out loud, it's just like, oh yeah, Morta. They barely mention it in the story.
Wait, Marta? Like the Atlanta Metro Transit
No, it's
Authority?
Morta. Morta.
Oh, I was genuinely surprised to learn that that's what it was.
This game is a roguelike, and I don't know why I keep playing these games because I don't generally like roguelikes, but I keep playing Dead Cells and this game and a couple other ones just because they're good. This one is good too. So you play multiple characters, and they kind of force you to. They punish you if you keep playing the same character with like getting a health debuff with that character that you keep playing with. and then you have to move on to the next one. They also have levels, all the characters, and when you level them up, you get stats for all of the characters. Just like one gives you movement speed, one gives you dodge chance and stuff like that as you level them up, and you get like cool skills and stuff. It does force you to, try out different characters and know which ones are better at the game. Because really, I would say, in my personal opinion, the only melee that's like really, really good is Mark. He's like a monk, and when you attack, if you're melee, you're gonna get hit. And if the health potions are not dropping, you're gonna die, and you're not gonna make it up to the top of that, like, I guess, dungeon. Because you have like different layers. You have like some give you 2 floors before you hit the boss. Some give you 4. It varies between difficulty when you move up like that stage. But yeah, it sucks that like some of the characters are it's just slow. It's just the combat is slow.
That's the problem I had with Gungeon. Like it was super slick, satisfying, fun roguelike, but the first 2 floors of the dungeon moved so slow, and since it's a roguelike, you're replaying them all the time again and again.
And the dodge has a meter, you know, until you level up like one of the characters all the way up. Mark, the monk, gives you like another dodge when you level him up all the way up to the top.
I don't know how I feel about this game's art style, judging by the
It's
trailers.
good. The thing is, when you zoom out, you can see like a pattern, like a grid. I don't know the name for that. I've seen it with pixel art before, like once or so, but not very much these days. Where you see like a grid when it zooms out, like whatever system that they're using is causing a problem when they zoom out. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But everything else is like
Oh,
pretty good.
yeah, I see what you mean. It's got something about the scaling.
Yeah, yeah, like they're scaling it, and it's
It's
weird.
it's it's like when you zoom around a Photoshop document that's not the right size, and you
Yeah,
have yet to actually set it to a size.
it's very distracting for me. Um,
The
that's
the,
the
the
only
thing
thing though.
that's
That
weirding me out is this like mishmash between low resolution pixel art looking thing and high resolution SNK quality pixel art things that like yeah, the characters look like blocky, solid, shaded pixel art people, and the environments look like a little softer but still pixely. They look more like Super Nintendo graphics with NES characters running around them.
mm,
But in a high resolution display that can zoom out real far cuz it's neither. It's weird to look at, I guess.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I think they did a good job. If doing pixel art like that saved them time, I think they did a really good job with what they had, the time that they had for sure. The house looks amazing too. But yeah, other than that, I don't know, like it's short and sweet. When you die, it really sucks because on like one of those big dungeons, you're spending like 20 minutes and you end up not, your dodge runs out and then you get hit by a big attack and you're dead. Like that's, like some of those attacks take up more than a quarter, maybe like a third of your health. If you get hit 3 times, that's it, you're done. And if you don't have like these, you get like relics. You get relics. You get ones that give you passives. They're all called divines. Passives, ones that you can activate, and then ones you can have like use as like a potion or something like that. And those are, if you get like like companions that follow you and attack, those are good. You get one that can resurrect you if you die, upgrade your health. One that gives you like life steal, like a lot of good ones. But if the rolls are bad, if you get some bad ones and you reach up to the top, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. But like and dying in 20, 30 minutes, it's not fun. I died once doing that and I was like, never again. I had to step away from the game for a second. I was like, nah, I don't like wasting 30 minutes of my time doing that. That's like that's like a big chunk of the game because the game is like only like 5 hours or so. It's like 30 minutes gone. And what did you level up like a couple times, especially near the end of the game? Like
That's that's a tenth. That's 1/10 of the game if it's 5 hours.
yeah, it's just that's a big chunk. So yeah, I again, that's because I don't really like roguelikes, but I end up playing them because they're fun to play. Um, yeah, I would say some of the characters are useless in my opinion. It's not balanced well for those melee characters at all. It's not fun to play when you have only a limited dodge for like the little girl who literally could only attack while standing still. You have two dodges and hopefully they refill fast enough while you shoot. And when she first shoots, it's like it sucks until like 3 seconds in, and 3 seconds in, they're already close to you. So you have to like upgrade your attack like a ton, and I upgraded mine to almost 20, and it still wasn't enough. And 20 is a lot. 20 is a lot of gold because you get gold in the game to use it in your skills. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna complain about very deep things that George has no idea, no idea about. So
I don't know how to respond to any of that.
there's a lot of little things that's just like, okay, but yeah, that's Children of Morta. It's a decent game if you like roguelikes, and if nothing bothers you what I just said, then there you go, there you go.
I actually don't know how much that bothers me. I started looking at the community hub screenshots and it looks better than the shots in the trailer. Yeah, there's some cool ass looking scenes with this like planet that's crumbling away in the background of one shot with a tree in the front and it's so zoomed out it doesn't look like pixel art anymore.
Oh, I totally forgot. The reason why I like this is that it's voice acted. It's the characters don't talk, but there's a narrator. And during when you're going through the dungeons, there's a lot of narrating for everything. You had like these side like there's a places where you can get like a weapon if you do a certain thing, and then there's like a story sections of the dungeons. Every time you go in, there's always something, and they keep doing that. Every time you fail and die, you come out and there's always a story section, always, and it's like building the characters. It's great. That part of it was the point of me playing. If they didn't have that, I wouldn't have stayed that long.
I'm kind of intrigued because like I've gone back and forth on a few roguelikes, like Necrodancer, of course, we've talked about. I
Yeah.
pretty sure I've raved about Into the Breach along with Liam, and before I was podcasting and stuff, I played a lot of Spelunky a few years ago.
Mm. I
So I
can't do
can definitely
Spelunky.
do it. Oh, I love it.
I can't do it,
I don't
man.
want to say it. It's fine. Spelunky, it's like side-scrolling 2D roguelike Dark Souls.
That Spelunky is just so ridiculous, man. I It's that type of hard that I just don't want to go through that pain. I just don't want to do it.
I feel like it's the type of hard where if you just go slow with your character and experiment with stuff, it's much more rewarding than learning it all by muscle memory.
Mm.
Anyways, you wanna talk about Gears?
Gears. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Gears.
Matt and I have been playing Gears, not Gears of War. No, this time it's just Gears.
Gears
They just
5.
it's Gears 5. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, I was expecting a like puzzle game where you put a machine together or something. Let's start off at the top with the $2 Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate Edition
Two
for two
dollars.
months.
$2.
$2. $2. What can you even buy with $2 in today's economy?
Nothing. I mean,
Air?
you could barely buy a candy bar with that. You could barely. You remember when candy was like 50 cents to a dollar?
Yeah, I was seeing some 9/11 nostalgia last night. I saw a sign that was selling some 50-cent freedom fries and I was like, "Damn, that was 20 years ago."
Yep. Yep. That
So,
sucks.
I don't know if the deal's still going to be active, but I recommend it. I'm convinced. I'm determined. $2 for access to the Xbox Game Pass library for 2 months is like Like, and that's a one-time purchase. It's not $2 every for the next 2 months. It's just one purchase of $2 for 2 months of access.
Hmm.
And we hopped into that for Gears 5, right? But after this, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
moseying my way onto Void Bastards and
Yeah.
seeing what Metro Exodus is like. Like, I'm looking forward to trying things without having the pressure to complete them.
Yeah. Because $2, you could not play something to the end for $2 for sure.
Yeah, that's even cheaper than renting.
Yeah.
The base price of it is $15 a month, and I remember Blockbuster rentals for a week used to be $7. So after two rentals, you in a month you're equaling out to the regular old non-sale price of this Xbox Game Pass. And I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it. I'm pretty tempted actually to just cancel it after the $2 2 months
Yeah.
because
There's a
that's
lot
enough
of
time
games.
to try it out.
2 months. That's like let's see, for you, like a new game every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah,
could at
that's
least
kind of how I've been doing it,
you can
isn't
do
it?
it in a no. You haven't played a new game in months. So like maybe you can do an impression every week or every 2 weeks. So let me not put the pressure on you. Every 2 weeks, 14 days.
I can finally play the Ori games.
Yeah, yeah.
Ori and the stuff and
I
things.
I feel like it's so like too artsy for you. It's too serious. It doesn't have enough garbage in it for you to be like, oh, I
Hmm.
love this game. Like Ori has to be like, I don't know, a pile of trash, throwing trash at other trash, and you'll be like, yes, this is
Yeah,
the game.
but I mean, coming to think of it, that's isn't that kind of what they did to Gears?
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Hey, we gonna talk about the multiplayer first.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about the part of the game we like first.
That is literally the point of playing Gears. You don't play Gears for the story. It's just like Call of Duty. Back then you used to play Gears for the story, not for just for the story,
I
but the
have
story was
no
good
idea
back
what's
then.
happening. I haven't played a Gears game in 11 years, and apparently there's girls now and colors.
There's girls.
There's
Jesus
girls and colors and
Christ.
pride flags, and there's sometimes you fight robots, and
Every
sometimes you fight Master McChiefs.
every woman listening just winced. Just winced just a little bit. Just like, ugh. All right, multiplayer. I want to talk about the game feel.
Yeah, they've like changed the style a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new characters from the sequels have normal proportions, but they're still standing next to these Gears 1 characters that are like that have triangles upside down for
Transformers
torsos.
running around with
Mm-hmm,
cars. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, with like cars strapped to their chest.
It's huge. They're huge. Old Gears had like you remember when I used to say I love the feeling of sticking my shotgun into someone's gut and pulling the trigger and it's blast and they get bodied.
Yeah, yeah, I know
You
what
don't
you
feel
mean
that
now.
in this one.
I've seen the light. Really? Cause I feel good when I do that in this
You know
one.
what? I think they made mainstream.
Did they dumb it down for the
Yeah, I
casuals?
think so. I don't know why they would make it that way. Maybe they did some testing with some regular people and they're like, "Oh, I like this better. I like it feeling not as crazy." I don't know. I don't know why would they do that. But behind it felt more weighty, if that makes any sense.
Does it feel slower than the previous one?
No, no, it's still fast. It's still fast, and that's good. And I like that it's fast. Fast is better. You can wall bounce better. Let me just say, this is the best, like connection wise, Gears has been. I lag sometimes, but I can still kill people. Like it's not that bad. Like for some reason, they have some magic going on. Maybe one character can see the future every 2 seconds, like that guy, that guy that just always knew that I was behind him or something like that, and blasted me on his kill cam. I like literally never shot.
Maybe you just needed to get
Yeah.
good.
Oh no, it was just that guy. I went like 20 and something, and that guy was no. That was King of the Hill. Yeah, he had like 80 kills. He had like 80 kills.
That's a little fishy.
Yeah, no, it's because he sees the future. He doesn't know that I've
Oh,
shot.
never mind. That's
Yeah,
legit then.
it's legit. It's legit. I mean, he was decent enough to.
Just learn how to
Yeah.
see the future, Matt.
But I'm
Well,
fine
that's
with
part
that.
of it. You gotta
I'm actually
predict.
fine with that because the rest of the players weren't like that. The rest of the players were just, regular connection. We fought it out, and I usually win. I'm good, but yeah, like it's the best it's felt because the old ones were just bad. The shotgun wasn't consistent. Um, you would shoot someone in the face and they wouldn't blow up. This one, they absolutely blow up every time. Every time.
Wait, you just said it was like
No, I'm
less
talking about that it is less
satisfying.
satisfying to blow up someone, but I'm talking about like it working because it never worked before properly. It was inconsistent, and it happened like every game.
Oh man, you really got to pick your poison here.
Wait, what do you mean? You think that's the reason why?
Netcode or satisfying? Pick one. Apparently, you can't have both.
I would rather have netcode any day. Netcode any day. So the feel of the game has lost. I don't know why they did it because I felt like he knew how the old Gears felt. I just don't know why they decided to just change it all up and make it very, I don't know.
I have a hard time picturing what you're talking because it has been 11 years for me. And so far as I can tell, it feels like that first game from 2006 still in many ways.
Okay, I would say this. Crobat? Is that his name? He made a video.
Crobat, right?
Whatever that guy's name is. I just stumbled on. He will show you exactly what I mean.
Oh boy. Is it something like Gears of War downgrade that the industry has been lying to you?
He'll just show you like the difference between like old Gears and this Gears. Because I don't think Gears 4 was this.
Whoa, Gears 1 is gray as hell.
Yeah, it's Gears 2.
Oh,
It's Gears 2. Yeah, that's the only thing. Like people who have played Gears like me throughout would probably noticed it as soon as you started playing. It felt like you were shooting a water gun instead of like a big, oversized, muscly, shotgun. It kind of lacks that, but it feels okay. I'm gonna play it. I still like Gears 5 for sure. Oh, because it doesn't feel quite as good as it used to. It's not a reason for me not to play it. As long as the netcode is good, I am going to continue to play that game.
I've definitely got my $2 worth.
Oh hell yeah! Hey, all right, so story. Oh no, wait, what do you think about the multiplayer?
I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Apparently, it opens up in Act 2, and that's about 3-4 hours in. And I did play up to that point. Against my better advice, I stayed up late last night and got to what the people are talking about. Matt, did you get to the snowy chapter?
No, I already finished it.
Oh my! How do you
What do
do
you
that?
mean? It came out early. It came out on the 6th.
Oh yeah, you were playing a few
Yeah.
more days then.
I was gonna play another game,
Well,
and I was just like, oh no, I'm like curious.
I got to a point where you're in a semi-open map with a vehicle, and it still had ultimately had me going down another tunnel after the vehicle to shoot my way through what felt like a fairly standard Gears campaign once again. I don't know what the point of playing some of this stuff is anymore. It's like I'm having so much more fun with the multiplayer than the campaign. The campaign is linear. You're just walking down a tunnel and pointing and clicking on bad guys, and I can't believe we're still in this trap.
It's old. It's an
Like
old game. It's an old game in
yeah,
this.
as much fun as I am having with the multiplayer, it's really disappointing to see this campaign go the way it's gone because I it depresses me at how dated it feels now at this point. Because, okay, the Gears of War franchise is like 13
Yeah.
years old, right? First game's from 2006. Back in the 80s turned 90s, within 16 years, the video games went from Pac-Man to Quake. And that's not a fair comparison. Like, we are not in the same place in history that people were in back then. There's just probably plain old less technology to play with, and these days that make games look and play differently unless you're making something in VR. But it's so sad for me, having grown up in that era, to see stuff like this stagnate. Like, I'm looking at the Cat footage, and yeah, I think I get it, but the old Gears footage, it still kind of looks, it's obviously the same engine, but it's similar art style, a lot of the same camera
It's the
work,
same exact game.
same
Nothing has
UI.
changed. Oh, because you can ride on this on a little like surfboard does not mean anything changes. This is the formula. This is the formula. Okay, you in that act, right? You ride around to your objective instead of it just skipping in a cutscene, right?
Oh, it really opens
And
up,
then you
huh?
have one side mission that is in that world as well that gives you something for Jack. That is it. There's nothing open world about it. Nothing. There's no something different. No, that's basically it. They did nothing.
Reminded me more of like a vehicle section in a Half-Life game than having a Wolfenstein
Yeah,
hub.
and the story is like kind of like what God of War did, right? It's just like busy work, but it's like interesting busy work for some reason. Like the story is continuing while you're doing busy work, But of course, Gears 5 is doing it a lot worse. God of War is, oof. But yeah, that's and they always leave it unfinished every time for the next Gears. Nothing happens really. We already knew the twist. There's like a twist that happens. We already knew that in one. It was so obvious, and then that's it. You're left like unsatisfied. You're like waiting for it to get good the whole time. There's some like decent sections and good gameplay, but it's like so far. It's like far apart.
Yeah, I think I was told that the best thing about a Gears of War campaign are the occasionally cool set pieces they'll
Yeah,
throw at you.
yeah. That's
And,
some.
and it's AAA game design. Like, it's fine, those cool set pieces happen, but it's so dated and iterative and uncreative. And then you go to the multiplayer, and there's like this real sense of flow and pacing. And what I love about the way Gears handles gunplay is it feels like you're always you really are sticking your neck out to get a kill.
Yeah,
Like, you ever notice how your toes clench when playing multiplayer games during tense moments? Gears has this like 4 second rhythm of clenching to relaxing to clenching to relaxing. And the clinch is what happens when you're aiming down the sights at someone with a lot of HP, and you and a friend have to concentrate fire or flank on them together, which adds this tactical team play dynamic to it. And while you're doing it, you're putting yourself at risk, so you have to be ready to retreat and have an escape plan in mind. And that's still, as good as it is, that's still stuff that I remember going on back in 2006 on the Xbox 360 13 years
yeah,
ago. 13 years ago, the world was exactly the same, if not a little better than today, kids.
yeah. It's yeah. Gears.
So I apologize that what I just did might have sounded especially acerbic and cynical, but holy shit, does that not compare to the blog article I read that got me buying Gears 5 in the first place? This is a little bit of a tangent, but if you want to hear the wailings of a generation, to maybe understand why I'm depressed, then type in Google, "I don't like prestige games." This blog post on Medium goes through like a laundry list of a lot of AAA design trends of the past decade that have just turned me off. The three-way upgrade trees systems that are just completely unnecessary, that make the base default state of a character you start out with in a AAA game to just be not intriguing to play. The like half-assed stealth and mechanics crafting systems that turn a lot of what your brain is doing into some incredibly easy, boring math. And then the guy recommends the hell out of Gears of War 5
Mm.
and uses the phrase that playing Gears 5 is like playing AAA games all over again. And maybe it kind of oversold me on it.
Um, I know a lot of people like it, and that's good. I want Gears to be a little bit more popular. Um,
Thing is, I can totally see myself playing the multiplayer for a couple more weeks, but I don't know if I even want to play more of the campaign at
and that's
all.
totally okay.
Like, I just want to get good at the
That's
multiplayer.
totally okay. But it's for the multiplayer. I don't know. I really don't know. Like it's Gears has always been popular on Xbox, but like I can see the difference. Like when you brought in some of like the Super Bunny Hop people to play, like
Yeah, yeah. From
yeah,
the Discord.
the way you guys play Gears is so wrong. I mean that in a
I
nice
had
way.
to
I don't mean that in a mean way.
relearn a lot of
Yeah, like
assumptions. Like you want to use the shotgun a lot
that's how
more
you play it.
than I was thinking
That's
you
how you
want to.
play it.
The shotgun should be your main way of
No,
getting kills. The Lancer is just to put
the
pressure.
Lancer is to put pressure, and the thing is, when someone runs up to you, you don't use the Lancer.
You back the fuck away is what you
You use
do.
the shotgun and you tell him who's boss. That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, if you're Matt, you do that. If you're me, you you hold the back button and go
Like you remember
away.
that clutch with me and you? That worked.
Oh, which one?
Yeah, the most intense one when you were like, "Wow, that was great." It was me and you left, and you were on the Lancer,
Yeah.
and that was perfect. I was on the shotgun, and I was wall bouncing, killing people, and we made it. Just two of us. We broke them down. We killed like 7 people, dude. Like because you were putting on pressure with your Lancer. That's when it works. But when you're 1v1 and someone's next to you, they're gonna blast you because the Lancer doesn't have enough damage to kill them that fast.
And I love that feeling of like holding down the L1 button, like drawing a mental map of where the enemies are going to be, where your teammates going to be, what your escape route's going to be, and then panning the camera around, like using the third person camera diegetically to spot bad guys coming and also keep in mind that they can spot you. There's a lot more going on in your head in Gears than I remember. I forgot a lot of that strategic layer to
That
it.
is it's been there. It's just it's good to play it now where a lot of people are in the game that are at various levels because later on what's going to happen.
Yeah, because the $2
Yeah,
sale.
later on you're gonna see those try hard boys. They come out, and you're gonna see a whole different Gears. It is a different Gears. They do not play. They don't miss shots. So you have to be on your game. And they're using controller as well. Like it doesn't matter. Like with Gears, it just doesn't matter. Especially when you've been playing it since
Yeah, because
Gears
the
1.
shotgun, it's just the you just need one good shotgun blast at the proper range to get a maybe if you're hanging back and sniping, the mouse and keyboard could make a real difference. But I also like that it's a game that doesn't lend itself to mouse and keyboard players just being dramatically
Yeah.
overpowered, which is cool because there's crossplay in
Yeah.
this one. We were playing with Xbox people
Yeah,
last night.
and they're good. They're good. I switched over. I don't know. It felt good. It felt good on mouse and keyboard. And I don't usually play on mouse and keyboard for like Gears. I grew up with it. But yeah, grew up with it on a controller. But yeah, it's good. I'm glad you like it too. I'm glad we had a few hours of goodness.
Well, the
Multiplayer,
multiplayer.
yeah. Well, yeah, Jack is like I'll say this. Jack is the best thing about story. The best thing about story. I'm glad they did that with Jack. Jack is a little robot if people don't know.
I
And you can upgrade them
can't
to do
tell
like
if you're
special
being
things.
sarcastic or not.
Like armor, turn everyone invisible and stuff like that. And if you have a like one of your friends playing Jack, it's like so overpowered. It's great.
You like playing?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. You have a different experience than me because when I was playing co-op, I played Jack for the first level, and Jack has no abilities for that one. And then you were playing Jack for the second level, after you get all the upgrades, and I don't know what that's
Yeah,
like.
started. I could kill people. That's ridiculous. Jack doesn't kill anyone when he's a AI. He's just sitting there doing nothing.
Right.
He's all right. Like he revives you sometimes and stuff like that. But yeah, oof, that game can throw some big ones at you, some real big ones at you. Later on in the campaign, if you want some challenge, the horde mode. That's right. The horde mode is good, but I don't think you've tried that yet. Horde mode is always good.
Played a bit of horde mode. Horde mode was too easy. I think I got to try it again with
Oh
a bumped up
no,
difficulty.
you put it on easy. That's why.
Did I? It was whatever the default
Yeah,
was.
that's easy. That's without modifiers.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why the modifiers exist. If you think it's too easy, then you put up the modifiers. And it's 50 waves. Every 10 waves, it changes.
What's the deal with this big black screen between every single wave that takes away your control?
Black screen.
They show you a scoreboard, and then they darken and blur the gameplay behind it. You can still move, but you can't um interact.
With stuff on the floor. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. It's weird.
It seems like a weird pacing decision.
Yeah. Why can't I like continue doing what I want to do? I don't need to see some like elegant blur screen and all that. You know, it's their decision, I guess.
It's another aspect that has me feeling like the PvP is the one part of this game
you know,
I actually like.
that reminds me. The most annoying thing about Gears 5, not the game feel, not that, not the blur screen, but when you start the game, you have to watch the Coalition intro every time.
The logo,
Every time. You can't skip it. Why? Why? I'd rather look at a loading
it's in their
screen.
contracts. I believe that unskippable logos are the result of corporate brand deals that actually have clauses in their contracts about how you can't skip the little bit of advertising that all the players are going to see when they boot up the game up every single time. And when the industry went in that direction, that's when it all went downhill, kids.
So ridiculous, dude. So ridiculous.
The amount of PC game patches that are just for skipping cutscenes,
Yeah.
I bet there's terabytes of them on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now you can skip cutscenes.
God,
Why
I
wouldn't you
can't
put that
believe
in before?
it's been 13 years, guys. 13 years, and we still have this standard issue. Oh, you can't skip the dumbass corporate logo because that's what people care about in their video games. Bullshit. You know what? One thing though that I do like about AAA games these days is that on first boot up they throw you in the option screen first. That is cool. I will give them props for that
Hmm.
though. In Gears, they make you adjust the lighting and accessibility options. The accessibility menu is huge. I love it. You can also set the cutscenes to 60 FPS, which is nice.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
a
for what it's worth, for how much griping I've been doing, it's a really great PC port and piece of software in general. I just feel like the PvP mode is the only one that jives with me.
I don't have a 1080 Ti anymore. So I have like this gaming laptop when I moved over here to California, and it's a 1060 in there, whatever the laptop version of that is. Yeah, I have to play like on sort of low medium, like a mix between those two. So I just want to tell everyone like that's what you're gonna have to look at. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. It kind of looks like you're playing old Gears. If you set it just right, if you have a 1060 or around 1060 or 1050 Ti or whatever, that's what you might have to go on low settings if you want to get like a consistent. I wanted to get like 75 because my monitor goes up to 75, and I like smooth 75 when I'm playing multiplayer and stuff. But it's gonna look good enough if you set it just right. So to keep for people who have that, keep working with the settings, and you'll get it to look decent. So you don't cut your eyes on like ridges, you know, like looking at a Switch game.
I feel like Like, there's not much you could do to Gears of War to make it look ugly. The art direction has always been real pretty to look at.
Oh yeah, big muscles. You like that, don't you? Mm.
Big Roman columns.
Oh, I guess a short mention. The reason why the old Gears was good is just it was just outrageous. Like big burly men. You know, you had four players and you just had one-liners, stupid one-liners and you killed big
Stupid
things. You
weapons
had
too.
Cole.
I love the Beyblade launcher. Like, it's so gratuitous and it knows. Like, it's aware.
Yeah, it's that's how it was. And it was dark. It was very dark and gray. You know, that's what Gears was, you know, and it's okay to change it. The direction is different. I'm okay with them changing it. It's just when you make it all like, you know, TVG, you know, when you make it for the general audience, it just seems a little not Gears, you know. The blood is all like colorful and everything like it. Oh my God, it looks like Fortnite. You know, like I don't know. You know, I guess that's what they're trying to do. Make Gears just a little bit cleaner. Yeah.
It definitely looks
Like when you
cleaner.
used to chainsaw someone, they used to flail around.
I hate to say it, but I think that might be the thing with the game feel you're feeling is like a animation system that kind of tries to flow one animation into another
Hmm.
cleaner. I don't know. I've been looking at this Crowdcat video and the old footage does look like a little jankier, but it's also crispier and the camera's shaking harder. It feels like pros and cons. Maybe I'd have to play them side by side to really feel the difference like you're talking
Yeah,
about
it's
though.
I don't care about anything else, chainsaw, whatever, that can change. Or shooting like little bits from like the scenery. I don't care about any of that. I care about the shotgun, and that's all I care about. If you mess with my shotgun, that's when I get a little annoyed. Not enough to lose sleep. I really don't care. I'm still gonna play it, but it does annoy me. It's just like, oh, okay, because yeah, killing someone, it looks weird on the screen too. Like they splash, like you have eliminated this thing. Like what are you doing? Just make it. Just why? What are you doing? Stop controlling my screen. And they when you get hit, it like hurts your whole screen too, and hurts your side view. It's like, come on, just stop this, stop. What are you doing? It was fine
I'm
before.
thinking about that black screen between every game of horde mode that apparently you had to remember real hard. That stuck out to
Yeah,
me.
it was annoying. I was trying to pick up stuff while that screen was up, and they wouldn't allow me.
Oh, okay, good. So you're on my
They,
side then.
yeah,
Anyways,
I'm okay. You know, I could take a second to chill.
I just want to say for $2, I'm
Hell
like
yeah,
super happy with the situation
two
actually.
bucks, play
Like
it.
like there was a lot to complain about for the campaign and stuff, but for $2, I have absolutely had a
And
blast with the
yeah,
PvP.
campaign is fine. When you beat, it's fine. It's just the same thing. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to a short segment before we switch over to some bullshit news. So, for an especially bullshitty episode of Dad and Sons, we're gonna follow up on something that happened last time we had only two dads or sons, and that is Liam's adorable, wonderful little segment called "What Would George Do?" Now, 3 episodes ago, I was vomiting in the
Yep.
bathroom because of a medical issue that I'm glad I didn't have time to tell the story about going to the emergency room this weekend because I don't want to alarm
Again?
the kids. But whatever, there might be a health issue going on, but I will be with you forever, regardless of what happens to
Stop
my
eating
children.
trash.
Anyways,
Stop going to that nasty
you might
place.
actually be onto something. Anyway.
Yeah.
Last time I wasn't here on the podcast, we did a "What Would George Do?" and there were 8 questions in which hypotheticals were discussed. So, do you remember what you and Liam talked about when discussing what would happen if George walked into a forest, found a black suitcase with $1 million and a piece of paper stained in blood that just said "Don't"? Would George take that suitcase home?
Oh, okay. So I remember this conversation. I think I said that George will um either leave it alone, and if he went for it, he will try to find the owner.
Yep, yep, absolutely. I would like do a DNA test on the blood. I would turn it into the police.
And I think we were like, oh,
I
we would definitely like take the money. It had like a letter
but
that
you were
said do not
spot on
touch.
for what a opportunity I'd be wasting.
But like,
But I don't know. I don't want the suitcase ghosts after me.
yeah, I mean, if someone was watching, that would be messed up too. Like, I don't want to think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. It sounds like some hitman's extortion
Mhm.
scheme. It sounds like that's JoJo. I don't want to mess with.
Jojo, I watched that.
JoJo. Shit, I was thinking of a different word. What's it? What
Juju,
is it? Like a kind of voodoo
juju,
sort of term? Bad.
bad juju.
And my brain just went to
Jojo
JoJo.
Bizarre
Okay.
Adventure.
Anyways,
Yeah.
number 2. If George could sell his soul to the devil, what would he sell it for?
Oh man, I don't remember what we said on this one. Did you write?
Bicycle. You said a bicycle.
Yeah,
Thing
really
is,
good
I would go a
bicycle.
lot harder than that because I think I'm skeptical enough to actually call the devil on his bluff and be like, okay, yeah, fine, you have my soul, but whatever, I'll just get used to whatever torture you have in store for me in hell.
Yeah,
I have a whole eternity to get accustomed to things down
that's
there.
right.
I'll adjust. I'll live with that.
We were saying like it would be something practical. Like it would be like redoing your house or something like that. Like nothing too
But
big.
I would go for something big. I would go for something life changing, like a $1 million deposit.
Okay, okay. Why stop at $1 million? Why not just go like 50 million or something like that?
Sure, because I am ready to call the devil out on his bullshit. There's some tactics I have in store for whenever the day happens. Anyways, next question, number 3. If George was a robot, would he want to know?
Oh, I think we're all over the place on this one. Would you want to know? I think we reached no because it would break you if you said yes.
But am I programmed to be happy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're happy, and knowing that you're a robot, I don't think you want that truth. I think you would rather live
Yeah, in
with it.
that case, I would rather not know, actually, because I just want to be happy.
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
And if ignorance is bliss, then, and if I have control over it at least, and something to gain, I would pick ignorance.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that that's not how it works in our modern society.
Yes. Sometimes, like, of course, it's bad to be ignorant, but sometimes ignorance is bliss, man. Certain things you don't
You
need to know.
gotta prepare for the
Yeah.
worst in order to be happy after it's over and done with sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Recessions happen every 15 to 30 years, kids.
Get ready. Get ready.
Get ready for the next one.
Save up the pennies.
Buy low, sell high. If George got to choose between 50 years of being incredibly happy
Mhm.
or to live forever and be unhappy, what would he choose?
Happiness.
This is a tough one, guys.
I
I don't know, man.
I feel like George is unhappy right now. He's living that life right
And 50 years of being incredibly happy sounds about as tempting as immortality of melancholy complaining about video games. Cuz on one hand, like, the curiosity is killing me. I want to know how the
now.
future.
No, like love has to be part of it because everyone wants to have like that somebody. So being unhappy not finding love, it has to be a part of it. So not finding love, complaining about video games for sure.
For all
It's like,
eternity.
wow, Super Bunny Hub hasn't aged since he started. Yeah.
I'm just so curious to know how the future's going to go, but considering how it's been going, maybe that's a real Pandora's box, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the 50 years. That's a more sure bet. At least with that, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stability I need in my life right now.
Everyone likes to be. Can you imagine just being super happy for 50 years?
I can't.
Yeah, I can't either.
Next question.
Not in this world, I can't. And that's kind of sad.
Would George rather be a deep sea diver or an astronaut?
Astronaut.
Fuck the ocean.
Yeah.
Get me out of it. I never want to go back.
You went?
I played a lot of Subnautica.
Oh
I'm
my,
not going back to
oh
the
my
ocean.
God. That's the most gamer thing you have ever said. Or anyone has ever said. I've been to the ocean. I played a game about it.
Yeah, I kind of channeled my Tim Buckley Control-Alt-Delete self-insert there with that one, didn't I? Yeah, no, the ocean's scary as hell. Space is also scary, but at least, yeah, this is like the 50 years of happiness. You know what you're gonna get in space because there's nothing in space. In the ocean, though, there's monsters. So no.
Yeah, I would love space. If they could just perfect it before I die. Maybe I'll be like really old and crusty, or maybe I can put my brain in a jar. I don't know. Either way, I want to live longer by any means necessary.
If you play Police Knots, you get to learn about all the health hazards people might have to face when living in space for a long time, like radiation and muscle atrophy.
Well, if we could go in space, I think robotic arms and, and all that might be a thing.
Yeah, yeah. In which case we'd be entering into the cyberpunk transhuman era, where you would probably be better off putting your brain in a jar and hooking it up to something you can upgrade.
Yeah, upgrade. Yeah, I'm totally down. I'm totally down with Neuralink as well. Like, I know a lot of people, like, every time I talk about it with my friends, they're like, nah, I don't think I want.
Just put my brain in a VR headset and let me play Super Hot forever.
You would totally get tired. Like, I want to play something else.
I don't know, man. That 50 years of happiness combined with putting my brain in a VR headset for Super Hot might be a pretty good way to go.
Oh, man.
Number 6. If George was president of the United States, what would he do on his first day?
What did we say? I don't remember this one.
Incredibly practical stuff.
Yes. Yeah, you always go off. Like, I guess more than you put on this podcast. If you even...
I would form mini subcommittees. Yeah. I would release mini statements.
Yeah.
I would have a very, very busy day. I would jump right on the shit. I would form a subcommittee to research into ways to keep the Second Amendment but get rid of automatic weapons in civilian households. I would head up a environmental economic reformation division to figure out how to make industry more sustainable without polluting the environment. Yeah, no. Okay, you guys don't get to see the Discord rants.
Exactly. That we thought that reaction was going to happen. That reaction. Or you just know exactly what to do and he'll just be busy.
You guys know how much I hold back from Twitter.
Hold back from everything. I don't even know how much you cut
guys
out.
have seen the paragraphs like outlining where politicians grow up and what their childhood was like, and
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. It's better than what we have now, right? So
the weirdest thing to think about is that I feel like I'm in a quick 2-second span, I just thought of 2 things that I feel like were more than what Trump thought up for his first day. Yeah, that guy had years to plan, but I also don't have dementia, and I'm not a fascist. So moving on, next question. Oof. Number 7. If George could have complete knowledge of any 5 things, what would he want to know?
Rome. We picked
complete knowledge
or history.
But the thing about having complete knowledge, do you really want complete knowledge of the whole thing? Because then you're going to learn how shitty it can be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if people went back in time to experience the glory of Rome, they'd find like a really messy, smelly, slavery-run war society full of macho men abusing everyone else. So I don't. Okay. Yes. I want to have complete knowledge of how to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter what.
And I think that's like it.
I think it's a combination of things. There was I remember reading about this woman who couldn't I forgot what she was missing. She couldn't like feel feelings or something like that.
Well, like emotional
Yeah.
feelings or finger touch feelings?
No, like emotional. Like she was missing a part of
Are we talking about my wife or what?
and 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 she didn't like I would say it's kind of like George, you kind of like miss certain things, right? Like you're a little bit different than a lot of people, and that's like what gives you like that flair, I would say.
I have been told I have a unique case of resting bitch face.
And what they did with this woman is put on a helmet that had magnets in it, and for a split, like for I think about like 4 hours, she could feel everything. And when it went away, she cried and she became depressed because she noticed what she was missing in life.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss.
And yeah, she was like, wow. And I have to look up that article so I can actually say it to you guys, because I'm pretty sure some people will be interested. I'm actually interested in that. But yeah, it was nuts. That's nuts to me. Those magnets can manipulate the brain. So like I think it's like a slight brain thing to be happiness, for happiness as well. It might just be the way that we're born. I'm getting kind of crazy here. The way that we're born, everyone's born different. Woo.
I'm imagining this woman like sprouting a beard and then clawing up towards the sky and saying something like, "Forlorn this lonely existence of man, for if we were to know what is truly in store for us at the end of our days, then would we want to go." Like I would not be able to not break out into some kind of existentialist soliloquy after having that kind of experience.
Yeah.
I would probably write a book afterwards and name it something like The Suffering of George. Number 8.
I'm trying to see if I could find that specific one, but if you just look up magnets in the brain, you'll find a ton of stuff. Like the magnets changing people's views on immigrants and God. This is what like that was weird. That's
Holy shit. That's creepy.
That's creepy. Yeah, like just a lot of stuff here. It's crazy how magnets can do that. Brain controlling magnets. How do they work? It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, see, don't you want to live in the future to figure out like what it'll be like when people figure out this shit? But also, don't you not want to be there when
Yeah.
everyone starts starving from global warming and the U.S. government collapses?
Isn't it just like that dumb game? No, I shouldn't say dumb game, but it was crap. We Happy People? No, I'm thinking about something.
We Happy
Happy
Few.
Few. I was thinking about the song, I think.
We Happy
Yeah, that game where you take the happy pills and everything looks great. You always see the positive in everything.
I'm sure there are several listeners who might be able to inform us that's probably not how it actually works.
What, happiness?
Or antidepressants.
Oh no, definitely not. But antidepressants definitely don't make you eat rats and think it's like fresh pig or something like that. Definitely not, for sure. But so I think it's more of a very heavy drug with hallucinogens in there. So, but yeah.
Number 8. If George died and had a choice between finding out what actually happens with the afterlife or lingering around and staying as a ghost, what would he choose? Ghost. You know what I would do?
You wouldn't do any of the weird stuff that you will see like in The Invisible Man. I forgot that old movie.
Nope. I have a ghost plan, actually. If I die and become a ghost, I am going to grad school.
Oh, shoot. That's so dope.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? You can just float into the classes. You have all the time in the world to listen to the lectures. No tuition, no food, no rent to pay.
If a teacher sucks, you could just move on to another teacher.
Just walk right through the wall.
Right through the wall. You don't have to worry about picking teachers or anything like that. You just look up, if you could touch things, hopefully, look up who's the best teachers, go to those classes, and it doesn't matter if they're booked because you're a freaking ghost.
Yeah, they're not going to
They can't
stop
stop
you.
you. Oh man,
So that's my ghost plan.
that's dope.
Do you have a ghost plan?
Yeah, I would definitely do that. I've always wanted to go back to school, but you know how much college is? We're talking about 9/11 and 8 years ago how things no 8 years ago.
Tried 19
So
years
sorry,
ago.
19
18.
Sorry, yeah. Holy hell. Yeah. How college was cheaper years ago, you know? And nowadays it's more expensive. I don't want to go into debt. Yeah, I already got student loans that I need to pay off. I don't need more of them. Jesus Christ.
And trillions of dollars are just sitting around in the Panama accounts.
Just no. Student loans are oof. Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely do that because that's the greatest idea. But I would do this. I would go and see things that people wouldn't normally see, like go to the White House, hear conversations.
Ooh.
Like go to wherever the CIA is and like really
Hear
learn
what Trump is like when the tapes aren't recording.
really learn what's going on. Oh my God, the satisfaction of seeing what our government does and everything. Oh my God, it would be so great.
See, that's the kind of I'd be in grad school learning about ancient history.
Oh my God, being a ghost would be so good. So good. Because I want to live forever. I want to go to space. I don't know how the ghost stuff would work if I would be able to become physical so I can actually go to space. And because I don't think I can float that fast and follow a rocket. So
And I also am pretty sure I'd be the one and only ghost who like wouldn't haunt people.
yeah.
In fact, I'd be the one ghost that would like try to help the ghost hunters out. I wouldn't be spooking them. I'd be like making them a sandwich and leaving them snacks and turning the lights on instead of off.
So you think they'll be evil ghosts? If they're gonna be
I guess like isn't that the stereotypes? Ghosts get a bad rap, but I'm pretty sure that most of them are floating around, not bothering anyone, and we'll never even know about them. But there's a few bad apples that spoil the bunch, right?
Yeah, if there were evil
Yeah.
ghosts, then there might be a way to like become stronger ghosts, and I would probably look into that to make sure I'm just like super super strong, like this ancient super strong ghost, Super Saiyan God level, Rose. just so I don't have to worry about anything. I'm just like doing what I want, No crazy ghosts. Man, can you imagine if like the like the secret government or whatever has like ghosts for them, like protecting the secrets too.
Their own ghost body.
Yeah, they have.
Matt, do you have a joint right now?
No. My cousin.
This is the second joint conversation we've had on this podcast.
My cousin grows she's one of the biggest people who grows weed over here. So like she gave me like this big cigar weed, and I
And did you start talking about like, yo, if you were a ghost, would your butt still smell?
No.
Because I feel like we're just a couple like sleepy thoughts away from reaching that level of sophistry.
I woke up so many times.
This is great. This is fantastic.
I need to get a mattress, man. I'm sleeping on a what's this, the blow up beds. Why am I forgetting the air mattress? Yeah,
No, still.
Yeah, I need to buy it. I have my platform frame and everything. I just have to buy a nice foam mattress. I just don't know which one to buy. Yeah, I'm gonna buy one of those. I'm gonna buy one as soon as I get off of this. Actually, it was good. It was good at first,
Okay.
and then now it's just loud and like making my arms fall asleep. I think my body does not want to get used to this. But yeah.
Kids, don't eat a bunch of crap, and also get enough sleep on a real mattress. It's important.
Yeah. Definitely get enough sleep.
So since Liam's not around this week, and since Matt usually doesn't talk about the news anyway, I decided to just go straight bullshit with it. We're not going to talk about the Tokyo Game Show. We're not going to talk about the 40-minute
Wow.
long Death Stranding trailer. We're not even going to talk about the Apple Arcade. No, no. You know what we are going to talk about, though, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
The siren from Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Final Fantasy VIII has had a remaster come out in the past week, and it's got some like pros and cons,
They
graphical
changed it.
improvements.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was also apparently some issues with analog controls. You don't get the analog control in this new version. You don't get rumble when you blast Squall's gunblade into an enemy. And the backgrounds are also weirdly low resolution, which I bet might be extra disappointing to you because you recently played through FF9 with that AI upscaling mod.
Yeah, and it's good.
And they didn't do that.
Oh, but this is a mod though.
Yeah, but this is an official product, and we're living in an age where Square Enix should have access to tools like that really accomplish what was a pipe dream back when I was modding games. Like being able to remake the renders in Ocarina of Time was something that the texture replacer modders were never able to accomplish. And in that community, you had in the Ocarina ROM hacking texture replacement community, you had some really creative works. There was one guy who made the game look like Wind Waker's art style, and it was really competent. Like the UI had swirly Wind Waker style medallions instead of weird abstract button looking things. Link looked like he was toon shaded, all the other characters did. But then you'd walk into Hyrule Field and see this low resolution, ugly CGI render that looks like Shrek.
Oh.
And nowadays you can actually fix that. But Square Enix didn't go through a similar method for this remaster, and
these are the same people who ported the mobile versions onto the PC.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna do anything
Yeah.
anything at all. You know, they're just putting on there because people are gonna buy it, and of course I bought it.
You bought FF8 remastered?
No.
Oh.
I've never played 8. My friend played it and he liked it. I might give it a try, but
It gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
But the first half of it, it's like a lot of those PS1 RPGs from that era. The first half is really, really good. The second half is when it goes off the rails.
Of course.
And one good thing that they did in the remaster is speed up the animations for the combat battles. That was always a big complaint for the game. And one of the animations in particular, though, is going to be a topic of discussion here, and that is the siren. All right.
Right.
Now, if you go online and look at all the forums full of the gamers these days, you'll find them crying ill over censorship. They gave the siren a different character design in which in the remaster she is wearing a skirt. And I am okay with that because I don't know how no one else didn't see this, but in the original PlayStation game, she's supposed to be wearing something. I don't know what it is, but it looks like pubes.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty she
There's no way that's pubes. No way.
Yeah, you posted it. You posted
I
it
did,
and
but
it's like what do you see here?
But
And I was like,
they would have had to have some way of explaining it. Like, it can't canonically, it can't in the game's world be actual pubes, because then it would be rated, it would not be rated T. I don't even know if you could get an M rating and have pubes back in those days. This was 1999, let alone the fact that, like, you can't even show pubes in Japan. In Japan, when people take their pants off, there's pixels all over the place. You know how it works, right? You've seen the video evidence.
this is no one noticed. No one noticed. That's probably what it was.
Do you think so? So your theory, that's
Dude, look at the shape.
it's ridiculous, but that's
Look
why
at
it
the
latches
shape.
onto my mind. Is this like one of the spookiest, most compelling video game mysteries of all time? Was the siren from FF8? Was she actually like taking her pubes out all along, and just no one made a scandal out of it?
Look at the shape, because no one cared back then. Look at the shape and look at the texture.
Oh no, that was the era of Jack Thompson. People totally cared. Hot coffee, remember hot coffee?
That's like news going crazy over stuff. Oh yeah, hot coffee was a little weird. Yeah, hot coffee was a little weird because you could do it on PS4s. Oh yeah,
And no
yeah,
one was even taking their pubes out in hot coffee. It was all just dry humping with everyone's clothes on.
yeah, yeah. This one, there's a texture and the shape of it. There's no way
The
it's
shape,
not.
yeah. That is not a like machine cut piece of fabric,
No,
whatever
it's
it is.
not. It's not.
I've heard theories that it could be a clamshell, like in a Renaissance painting. You know, you see? Do you see that? Does it look like a clamshell to you?
No, the texture looks like hair. And what
Okay, I've
what
also
what
heard
what
that it
type of
could be.
skirt is that? It cuts off in the front.
Yeah, it's some
You see the
weird
skirt?
like S&M sex wear.
Yeah.
So the
I
other popular
really
theory is that is feathers. Does it look like feathers to you, Matt?
no. It doesn't look like anything else but hair.
It's
Maybe
the
I can't
same
unsee it.
color as her hair.
Yes.
It's the same texture as her hair.
Yes.
But there's no possible way.
The texture and the shape is what does it because you can't make a shape like that and it not flap down. Unless I
And
mean it's anime, right? But
and
like
that's the
still.
shape that also happens if you you kind of neglect things down there for a
Yes.
few months. Like it's crawling up towards her belly button.
Yeah, the
And
happy
and
trail.
for research purposes, I looked up some concept art. And in the concept art, this piece of her costume has less of a texture, but it has more of a shape. It is like you can see it yearning to reach her belly button and make a happy trail.
Yeah. Yeah. For people who want to look this up, if you don't have the link, Siren PS1 on FF8. Siren.
There's also a collectible figurine that's not doing her any favors, but in the figurine it looks more of a C-string kind of situation.
Mm.
Like it could be a bikini bottom, but it doesn't have straps going around the waist, so results are still inconclusive.
See, this is the type of stuff that I would be asking people if I ever do documentaries. Just be like I won't go and talk about development or anything. I'd be like, yo, like let's talk about this. Like, come on, man.
Can you imagine Danny O'Dwyer
Yeah.
sitting in an interview chair with the Japanese character designer speaking through a translator, and he's just like, "Oi, mate, what's all this then? Were these pubes or what?"
Danny, just let me do it. I don't care about my reputation. Just like let me do it. I'll do it for you, dude. I'll take the hit. You know.
We need
A
investigators
spinoff.
and journalists to crack this case
Yes.
and figure out what the hell they were thinking back then.
Danny sends me a DM like, yeah, yeah.
with the clip.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
So I posted about this on Twitter because it was very important to me. And I did get some responses from a lot of people who did play this and assumed that she was wearing a bikini or something. But I think you and I we're like strapping young lads, right? We're not, sexually weird in the ways that the kids these days are. And we were probably also like what, 12, 11 when we were playing this?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm telling you, it's pubes.
Listen. All right. This is how you can tell it's pubes. Why did they have to censor it?
Oh no. I know the reason why. It's because it looks like pubes, whether or not they're actually pubes. I'm assuming they changed the model because even with the updated graphics, if you look at that model, that looks like pubes. There's no explaining it around, especially if they would increase the resolution and whatnot.
Yep. Because that texture would be crisper, and you can see clearly that that's not a seashell.
Whatever the hell that's supposed to be, in my head canon, it's pubes.
And to be honest, like that's not the seashell's not really covering everything. So yeah. Okay.
So the next very important news topic that I'd like to discuss now that Liam's not here
Yeah.
is that on September 8th, the official PlayStation UK account has tweeted, this changes everything, guys. They have tweeted, triangle, circle, cross, square.
What?
If cross is called X and it's not, then what are you calling circle? Who the hell cares about circle? It's not a cross. The fuck? What? Get out of here.
Cross?
Matt, when you close your eyes and think of cross, what does your brain visualize?
You know what it visualizes a cross, just like everyone else
the
does.
cross.
Yeah,
the
cross.
The religious cross.
Yes.
The Christian cross. The torture device cross.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a thing because people use cross for a lot of Japanese things, don't they? When they see an X.
I think this is an American thing. I think it's just because we live in Trump land. This could be a US UK thing, you know, like how they say Z over there for what are clearly Z's. But in Japan, like Monster Hunter X is Monster Hunter Cross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I could understand it being a cross from a Japanese point of view, maybe not so much a British point of view, but one thing that people found out from this news story is that internally, if you take apart the PlayStation controller, those buttons are labeled triangle, square, circle, and fork. Thing is, though, I am more ready to accept fork. Because when I think of cross, I do not think of a symmetrical shape. The cross is like bottom heavy. The two arms on the cross are on the upper half. An X is like symmetrical, and a fork is that just means intersection between 2 points.
Right.
So clearly I'm right, and the official Sony UK Twitter account is wrong. And unless you have any further thoughts, we can move on to the next question. I mean topic. Yeah.
Cross. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing them tweet it out. Wow, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. Let's talk about anime.
You know, we don't get to talk about Astral Chain or nor do we talk about Liam's initiative to push Apple Arcade. Instead, we're talking about Kentucky Fried Chicken releasing an anime dating simulator called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator.
So I need everyone to go watch the trailer because you won't. Whatever you're visualizing right now, it's not what you think it is. It's an anime trailer for this.
The production values are surprisingly okay. Like Colonel Sanders has frames of animation to him.
And there's some diversity in there, which is never seen before in Kentucky Fried Chicken. Usually you get that US guy that looks like he owns slaves, like that guy.
Wait, no, I actually did research on that last night. It turns out Colonel Sanders was a pretty cool dude. The colonel title was just honorary. He had nothing to do with the military. And, you know, if you are concerned, he donated a lot of money to black charities and went to black churches. But then he died, and now the brand is just doing all sorts of weirdness. Did you know that last year there was a Kentucky Fried Chicken romance novel? This seems like a follow-up in the vein, you know, and in that respect, it's very on brand. They're turning Colonel Sanders and his legacy into a teen heartthrob.
Wow.
So, I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator, is scheduled for release on September 24th, 2019 by developer Psyop, who have got a weird library behind them. They just made 2 kind of novelty games on Steam. There's a VR fortune teller. And then they made a summer camp themed visual novel style game for kids, and I guess that more naturally folds into a Colonel Sanders dating simulator. But official features that are listed on the store page include cooking battles, battle battles, kind of like Battle Chef, earn a degree from a fictional culinary school, and another bullet point on the list, it just straight up says, officially created by KFC, no really. That's the quote.
Wow.
So I have some family discussion questions for us.
Yeah.
Number 1, is this what they mean by late capitalism? Is this what happens when companies grow too big and too old and just sort of sustain themselves by by doing the same stuff they've always done to the point where the people behind the brands don't even know what to do with themselves anymore.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was thinking about it last night.
Yeah,
I was thinking about hopping on the cynical millennial late capitalism train, but we also got Zaxby's and Chicken Filet competing within the same space. Now Popeyes has also
Chick-fil-A,
recently
chicken
entered
fillet.
the arena with its hot new contender chicken sandwich, and I don't know about you, but hopefully I'm rooting for them because I don't want to like hurt any gay people when eating my chicken sandwiches, which Chick-fil-A has
You're
donated a lot
not
of money to
though.
do.
You're not though.
I know I'm not, but their bosses are.
How are they? Because they said something? Am I?
No,
Did I
they
not read the
donate
story?
money to anti-LGBT political
Oh,
campaigns.
how? That's not never gonna work. What? That's crazy.
Yeah,
People are gonna continue to be what they are. That's not. Nothing's gonna change that. That's so weird to me.
hopefully.
It,
I
man,
mean,
people
in
live in.
history and in some parts of the world, it's straight up illegal, but
How do people live with so much hate? I don't understand. That's too much to sleep with.
it's the religious justification. It's a good thing here that we have universally loved figures of unity like Colonel Sanders to bring us together in these trying times.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Family discussion question number 2. Ironic fast food marketing stunts. Are we okay with this? Yes/no.
I mean, I don't care. He can do the dating sim. He can. I mean, why not? It's something stupid and fun. I mean, if you want to do something crazy with your brand, I mean, like, there's a lot of like they don't have to do anything anymore, right? They're KFC. You know, everyone's gonna go to KFC eventually and get food. Um,
I was thinking about that last night until I remembered that there is still competition going on in this
yeah. Oh,
place.
yeah. I guess with the recent.
Like you got Zaxby's and Popeyes and
No,
ugh.
it was Chick-fil-A
Yeah,
and
I didn't
Popeyes.
want to say Voldemort though.
It's okay to say
So
Chick-fil-A.
fast food brands are doing funny, ironic, sarcastic marketing stunts these
Yeah,
days,
on
and I'm
Twitter and stuff.
kind
Yeah,
of sort of all for it. It's
it's
not gonna
different.
lie, it's fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I
Listen to how
don't
much
buy any
fun
of their
I'm having.
stuff, but it's fun to look at.
Right, right. This this is the latest in a line of fast food brands getting weird to appeal to weird nerds. Last year when Soul Calibur 6 came out, Arby's did a promo where they did a photo shoot of a statue of Nightmare made out of sandwich boxes. KFC did that romance novel last year, and did you know that in 2006 KFC made a giant Colonel Sanders logo outside of Area 51, big enough to be visible from space?
What?
They said that if extraterrestrials really do exist, they want KFC to be their restaurant of choice.
Wow. Who is running marketing?
In 2011, a Colonel Sanders dressed stuntman rappelled between some skyscrapers, saying that they wanted to bring lunch to new heights.
Wow. That's
I love how speechless you are at all of it.
I didn't
I'm
know
trying
KFC
to
did
get
all
you more.
this. I didn't know KFC did all
This
this.
is
You did your research, man. I didn't know KFC got down with some goofy stuff.
Colonel Sanders gets down, yo.
Like when you sent me the anime trailer, I was confused. I was like, what is going on here? Because he's like an old guy. Why would you want to date some old, like, that's very weird. He's all gray haired. Like, he has to be at least over 50. Like,
But
you
in
want to
his
date this
anime
guy?
version, look at his physique. He's like got a
Yeah,
slender
there's
swimmer's
plenty of good
body.
looking 50-year-olds, but he's still
He's
50 years old.
like a southern Sean Connery.
It's so weird, dude.
Family discussion question number 3. How explicit do we think the romance scenes are gonna be?
Oh man, I hope it's so raunchy. I hope there's gonna be like a 18 plus patch for it. Like, it's gonna, and it has to have like one liners. Has to have like one liners. Just like, oh,
So you have to go
fry
to
my
the
chicken.
Steam forum
Yeah.
to download the uncensored patch so that you can see Colonel Sanders'
Yeah.
dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, it's actually a C-string bikini bottom that just looks like a dick.
Oh yeah, and like the pubes are also white. So let's
Yeah, probably.
yeah. Let's do all that.
I'm in all honesty at least predicting them to draw a frame of him making out with someone.
Oh man.
Because that would be such great social media bait, basically.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the Twitter drama? Well, actually, come to think of it, the Twitter drama and the social media bait might be better if they decide to have Colonel Sanders hang dong. But that seems a little unrealistic for my predictions. I think we're just gonna have like kissing, and Colonel Sanders is gonna stop there and save himself for marriage.
No. That's not a true dating sim.
It brings new meaning to finger licking good.
I mean, he is old school, right? He's 50, 60 years old, so maybe it is going to be like that. Maybe it's just going to be like Christian dating, you know? No weirdness, no whatever, just blushing and holding hands.
Gross, Matt. This is a family podcast.
We just talked about pubes. Yeah, like I don't see. Man, I really want it to be gross. I really want it to be gross because
do you just want full on Colonel Sanders hentai?
Yeah.
I am sure it already exists.
Oh no!
Do you hear my keyboard?
Looks it up for later.
Sure it does. Can confirm. All right, I'm going back to this old screenshot that
opens up the 40th tab. Yeah.
All right, let me close 39 tabs and get back to the podcast outline because we got to move
nuts. On. Okay, you have a million tabs open. I don't understand how your computer runs. Okay, you have like 64 gigs of RAM or something because ridiculous on Chrome.
Runs on sweat and dreams. So if you'd like to try and help make us a little more sane, feel free to send an email to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com.
We read them and we have fun with them. And sometimes they end up as questions.
We read them. We actually do answer most of these. These, I believe, are from week 1 of August, so we got a 1 month of a backlog to go through. But first one this time is from Magnus B. What is your stance on podcast gaming, as in listening to podcasts while gaming? Does it remove from the game and/or podcast experience? Are some games suited better to podcast gaming? Should some games have podcasts implemented upon themselves?
Well, does remove from the game?
There's been a few. Remember the MGS4 podcast?
MGS4 podcast? No.
Yeah, they had an in-game podcast where some of the developers like gave some fun behind-the-scenes fun facts while you're sneaking past the guards.
Yeah, that's good for a second playthrough, I feel.
Yeah.
If you like the game. Like, even through movies, if you've watched a movie and you want, commentary after it. Like, I remember
ooh, yeah, use your podcast as a commentary track.
Yeah, those would be good. Yeah. Like, podcast while gaming, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do it, but they do it for certain types of games. They do it for like MMOs and stuff. You know, games where you have to grind.
That's something that took me a while to figure out, because I don't usually like games like that, and I don't usually listen to podcasts like that. But if I do play games like that to podcasts, I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't listen to anything if I'm playing like a regular story-driven game. That's just not gonna happen. Like I need to pay attention. I like to pay attention to what I'm doing and what I'm listening to, because especially when there's like jokes or something like that or callbacks and I miss it, I don't want to miss it. So yeah.
One thing I want to actually legitimately suggest is audiobooks
Oh yes.
to puzzle games or strategy games. Stuff
Yeah.
that does not require you to read or listen to people, but still keep your brain occupied.
Yeah.
I just did the Iliad and the Odyssey while playing Wargroove and Rome Total War, and it made both the games and the audiobooks so much easier to go through.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
Next question is from Isaac D. How do content creators and video game developers stay sane in the face of online harassment? Do you think mental
Oof.
health institutions, such as therapists and psychologists, are equipped to help them work through online harassment? How did you work through it?
Yes, you gotta find a good therapist. A
Find a good
long-winded answer.
therapist, find
Find a good.
friends. The piece of advice I have here is to talk about your problems not on the internet. And that's such I don't know how great of a piece of advice that is really, but the way I think of it is that if you let the trolls know you're being trolled, you're kind of letting them know that they're like getting away with it,
Mm,
and that opens you up for more. They will call you a lol cow. That's when you might start finding entire threads on yourself based on your reactions, is when you react to it. And I
mm,
fucking hate it, but I just don't respond. I don't tweet about my real problems. I
yeah.
try to keep a lot of that off the internet, and I don't know, maybe it's driving me crazy anyway, which is why I don't know how good of a
Y-
piece of advice it is. But man, when I first started the channel, like I would reach out to some like hater fans one on one and
mm.
like talk to them and with my mouth. And once they hear your mouth, like they all of a sudden completely change their mind, because you're a real person at that point.
Because they're anonymous. They're just saying stuff. Because
And
they can get
and
away
when you
with
make
it.
that connection with them, you're not anonymous anymore.
Yeah.
But that was like 2013, 2012.
Mm,
That was before Gamergate. That was before Trump. That was before Charlottesville. That was before the mass shootings.
yeah.
And I don't know how much I actually want to go back to that method again of
Yeah.
like actually reaching out for the one-on-one talk.
Sometimes people are just bad. And I would say if you're having problems, I highly recommend. I know this is not easy to find a circle of friends, that actually care and that you can talk with and complain to, and they won't judge you.
Yeah,
It's
it,
so
it
important.
just
It's
it
so
just
important.
sucks that it's not easier,
It's not, yeah, it's not easy.
that
It's
it's
definitely
so
not, because
difficult to
a
to
lot of people are
find an
selfish and they don't want to hear about your shit, you know?
And the other problem is that the bigger and more popular your product is, the worse this problem gets, because that increases the amount of trolls in your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1% of them are trolls, that's what, 10 people? And
Yeah.
then when you have 100,000 subscribers and it's still 1%, that's 100 trolls that are after you at that point.
And 100 people, that's a lot of people to be trolling in the comment section,
Yeah,
because most
yeah.
people just watch like normal and move on with their day. They don't spend their time commenting if they don't need to.
It just sucks. It sucks that I don't even feel confident in the advice I'm giving, which is just to not even talk about it. That's not I
Yeah,
don't know if that's a great way of dealing with it either, to be honest.
yeah, you definitely have to talk about. Well, I don't want to be the
Well,
therapist. I'm not.
my
Let me just
advice
say
is
that
don't talk
straight
about it
out.
on the
Do not
internet.
listen to me at all. I've met a couple therapists. That's it. I have no authority on any of this. But I would feel that talk about it, letting it out, and talking through it, it's helped me through stuff. Not
Yeah.
necessarily online harassment, because
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm not that big, or like not a lot of people harass me, and if they do, I just whatever.
There is so much that I hold back from Twitter because
Yeah,
I know it would not be good for me if I didn't.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, last question from David D. He has two questions for us actually. First question is more targeted towards Matt. What
Whoa.
does the VR landscape look like right now? No frills. What headset would you recommend right now? I'm not above buying things used. Oh, and I also have a gaming desktop with a GTX 1070, no PS4.
1070 is good. All right. So I would recommend, if you were to buy one, an Oculus Rift, the new one, the S. You don't have to set up sensors. You literally just plug it in and you're good to go. You don't have to do the whole setup or anything like that. Well, you have to do a setup, but you don't have to like worry about like sensors everywhere for like room scaled. It's perfect.
You're
Um,
not going for the Quest?
no, no.
Hmm.
He wants real VR.
Hmm.
So
He has the 1070,
he has a
and
1070. That's
not
good
gonna
enough to
lie,
play
the
whatever
porn
he
is pretty
wants.
cool.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you get that on the Quest.
yeah, no. So PC, you'll be able to play whatever you want, and you have the Oculus. You'll be able to access the Oculus Store and the Steam Store, so you get both sides of the games. You're good to go. Yeah, it sucks. I don't know if you want to spend a bunch of money to get like the highest grade Vive. Like you don't need to spend that much money for like wait till the next one. Like spend like what was it, $400, or get a used one like you said, of the S, and you're good to go. I would say you don't have to worry about buying sensors or anything, and you get a higher resolution than what I have. I have like the first gen, and I'm fine with it until like they make a huge jump. But yeah, as far as like games, there hasn't been like a huge jump. There's a lot of good PSVR stuff happening, but some of them are being ported. They're
Gotta give
exclusive.
Blood and Truth a twirl eventually.
Yeah. There's a lot of, if you haven't played any of the games, there's a lot to go through. If you like shooters, oh, you're gonna find some good stuff. You're gonna find some good stuff. There's a few things that I've played. Onward has like a terrorist hunt, which is so good. Um,
Aspire VR Operative is an upcoming game I'm looking forward to. It's coming out on PSVR and the PC platforms, like a stealth game where you have robot powers.
there's a lot of social stuff, like I've talked about on the podcast, that you can play. It depends on what you like.
Oh yeah, and you don't get that with
There's a
PSVR.
lot of cool stuff to go through. I would say I'm biased because I like VR and I've always liked VR since it first came out. I bought it as soon as it went online. I think you will get your $400 worth. I think that's what the S is, right? I don't think it's 500. 500 is just too much money. But that Facebook money, keeping that cost low as possible.
Yeah, it's 400.
400. Yeah, 400 for sure. That's like a console, right?
Right.
Right. So I think, in my opinion, that's the best one to go for. And you have a ton of games to go through, which we've mentioned a ton of games on this podcast, but there's like a list that you can go through that's like whatever you find interesting. Super Hot would definitely be the first one because we talk about it constantly, and you'll have a blast with that. There's no way you won't have a blast with that, even if you don't like shooters. Yeah.
Second question, George. Oh, this is how you know they want PC VR. George, I know you've experimented with playing games which are not natively VR. Between emulated Nintendo classics, using Vorpix or other VR wrappers, what are some of the must-try games like this?
F-Zero.
Yeah, but that's the emulated Nintendo classics.
Oh,
A lot of first-person shooters that don't require fancy heads-up display mechanics work very, very well with it, with face aiming. I don't want to say built in because you have to use some command line hacks to get it going, but Half-Life 1 and 2 both translate really well to a VR experience that Valve kind of mostly developed but then didn't ultimately want to ship at the last minute. You use face aiming. There's a custom menu that they have built in the game that's more VR friendly. But also, first person horror games that don't have a lot of heads up display stuff going on, like the Outlast or Condemned games, are pretty good too. But you also don't want to discount third person games as well, where you can get a toyetic effect. If there's a well animated character that you're piloting around with a fairly controllable camera that's not as big a part of the experience, then you might want to give that a go. Example in this case was the Tomb Raider games and Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. You're probably not going to want to try it with Gears of War because so much of Gears of War stuff is like having those cool camera angles on you.
Hmm.
And VR, that gets all sort of wacky when you try to vorpex it. The game's got to have a fairly non-intrusive camera or a first-person perspective, and you'd be surprised at what you could get done. So yeah, if you're into the Tomb Raider reboots, I'm not necessarily, but it was a cool day of playing around. That's great, good fun. Oh, Mirror's Edge was great. Mirror's Edge was a
Whoa.
blast. Alien Isolation was also a blast. Oh, that's another case where the developer like halfway went through starting a VR mode, but then didn't want to finish it off. So
Yeah.
modders picked up the slack on that one. Alien Isolation is a fantastic playthrough with VR. If you have not played that game the first time, you might as well play it in VR the first time. Subnautica is actually the top of my list. Like in terms of all the VR experiences I've had over the past year, that is at the top. The game's not made for VR, but it has a pretty darn good VR mode natively supported in it. But the whole premise of the game works beautifully in it. It's an underwater survival horror crafting sandbox with cool vehicles that have cool cockpits. Oh, Matt, you probably know what I'm talking about. When I remember what it was like playing Subnautica, I remember being in a 3D space. I don't remember it as an image on a screen.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I remember glancing around with my neck. I can't think of Subnautica without having memories of moving my neck and body around. Like it was very much a time and a place and an activity instead of an image on a screen.
Yeah. It's dope. So and I would recommend you trying a couple VR sessions. Make sure you're not one of those people, like it's a small percentage that just can't do it. Just can't use VR or they don't see it. That's weird.
The
Yeah.
the motion sickness barrier I think is higher with these games that aren't explicitly meant for it
Yeah.
either. So you're gonna want to get your feet wet and get used to the motion sickness
You do get
and
used to it
more.
though. You do get used
Yeah,
to it.
well, most people
Yeah, most
don't
people do. That's what I'm saying.
don't
It's a
want to give them
small.
a guarantee.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I would say most people, but yeah, some people get really sick. So I would definitely like get your feet wet with it. I would hate for you to be like $400 and then you can't play or whatever. But yeah, just slowly work it in every day. Just do like a couple hours, and then you'll probably get used to it after that.
And start either with cockpit games or games that have your hands moving around with VR controllers.
Yeah,
For some reason that always clicked with my brain. If I can look down and see my hands moving around, my brain is not going to a motion sickness place that sometimes it might do if I'm using a controller, a traditional controller.
hmm yeah. I, I would take off the headset. You may not feel it after a couple hours, so take off the headset and get into the real world to make sure that you're not like woozy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through the Vorpix forum. Someone recommended Dark Souls, and I have tried that out.
Oh.
And camera control was really, really tricky to get set up right. But once I did, and the health bars and heads-up display never really translated well. But it is so damn cool seeing video game characters become little action figures,
Hmm.
like walking around on a table in front of you. That's what Dark Souls looks like in VR. I again don't know how playable it is, but it's just a cool sensation of seeing games come to life in this new way.
Oh man, can't wait for some cool games to come out. Some good
And with that, we
MMOs.
just hit 2 hours.
Wow, look at us.
Time flew by,
Yeah, sure did. When you're having
and we only had one potentially getting edited out race. I don't want to say racist joke. I don't.
it wasn't a joke. It was a very serious racial, thing that you said, and now we had to. No, it wasn't.
I'm trying not to be too nervous right now.
That reminds me the ha 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 laugh. What is that
From
anime?
Gretzko.
Yeah, we gotta watch season 2, right?
We
People
do.
have been
We
asking
do.
that in the comments. Aha, I
Lay
read
down.
the comments, Liam. I can say this now when he's not here. Talk trash.
Liam, more like stinkum.
Seenan. Oh, okay.